welcome back to the MT Larder, the musical theatre cooking show where we love a West Side salad. Now today is a very special episode of the MT Larder as we are hosting alongside the Hope Mill Theatre. In today's episode our musical is Rent and we're going to be making a New York cheesecake. We're still supporting UK Black Lives Matter and the Theatre Support Fund. But today we're also supporting Hope Mill Theatre. The link to give to all these causes are in the description below. Now over to our extra special guest from the Hope Mill Theatre.
Hi, it's Joseph Houston here and I am Artistic Director and co-founder of Hope Mill Theatre in Manchester.
Time to meet today's bakers.
Hello, my name is Olivia Hargreaves and I am from Liverpool.
Hello, my name is Anna Tompkinson. Welcome to MT Larder. I am originally from Suffolk, but I have been living in Warsaw for the past 5 years, I think.
So the first thing we need to do is to preheat our oven at 180 degrees Celsius, which I've done here. And while that's heating up and getting up to temperature, we're going to start mixing our ingredients. Before that though, we're going to pre-grease a tin for our cheesecake, and we need to be one that is a spring bottom where the bottom comes out.
So, first on my agenda is I'm going to be crushing the biscuits. I've got my 140 grams of wholemeal digestive biscuits in here, so I'm just crushing them. I went through a few things. I started with an ice cream scoop. Wasn't working for me. I tried to use my hands. It was alright, but yeah, it wasn't really working. Now I've gone for a lemon squeezer. It's working great. I'm loving it. So I'm just crushing them as so.
So I have crushed 140 grams of digestive biscuits. They can be whatever biscuits you like really, and you can even make gluten-free ones to make the cheesecake gluten-free, but I've just gone for normal. So we're gonna pour that into our mixing bowl. Then I have 70 grams of melted unsalted butter. So I did this before, but we don't want any salt in there or anything.
No salt in our unsalted butter.
The melted butter is just gonna help combine all those biscuit crumbs together. So we're gonna pop that in there like that. And then we've got 60 grams of caster sugar, and that's just going to make that base even more sweet, like we didn't even need it already. And we're going to combine those together.
So I'm just going to pour that in with the biscuit and the sugar, and then just give that a good mix, and that should just form like a little biscuity paste kind of thing, that's what I'd call it. So I'm just using Barry because Barry, innit? Golden.
Barry, the real star of today's show.
Golden, golden. Attack these biscuits like there's no tomorrow.
Anna, the biscuit attacker here.
I feel like there's more, I've like found more bits that aren't crunched up.
I've listened to the songs before, and I've listened to my favourite song is La Vie Bohème, which is close to the end of the first half, and it's where all the characters are sitting. I just broke my spoon!
Oh dear. Anna's attacking her biscuits. Olivia's breaking her spoons. Quick, move on.
So I've just put my biscuit into the tin, and then just sort of flattening it with the end of the spoon. You can use a jar or anything else you've got, and I'm just compacting it down like this, pushing it, just to make sure there's no gaps in it. And it's the worst if you was cutting a bit of cheesecake and then the bottom sort of just falls apart or there's holes in it, because it's all falling apart.
The next thing that I'm going to do, so instead of just leaving this at the side, which if you were chilling a cheesecake, that's what you'd normally do, I'm going to bake it for 15 minutes in my oven. That is at 180 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to pop it in. Ooh.
Yes, an oven tends to usually be hot.
And we are going to set a timer for 15 minutes. So meet me back in 15.
So I'm just going to put the I've got some Sainsbury's full fat soft cheese here because we want it to be as creamy as possible. And there's, I think it's, yeah, 540 grams of this. So just weigh out your 540 grams into a bowl. I'm going to put it straight into my sugar bowl because that's the same thing as it going in order. I'm going to use Barry again.
Barry!
Next, we are going to do the juice and the zest of 1 lemon, so that goes in there. And what that'll do is that'll add a little bit of flavour to the cheesecake, which I love lemon cheesecake. But what it'll also do is, again, it will cancel out that.
Try again.
But what that will also do is it will cancel out that sweetness, and it will make it a little bit more sharp.
So, I mean, so Rent is, yeah, it's definitely one of my most loved musicals. I think it's lovely. I mean, I say lovely, you know. But it's got some great stories to it. The people that you meet and go with are, yeah, just fantastic. But also quite sad in places, obviously. I think it tells a great story, stories that need to be told, which, you know, is one of the most important things of theatre, telling stories that don't get told.
So the musical was actually inspired by Puccini's opera, which was called La Boheme, and a lot of the characters and a lot of their character traits mirror those of that of the opera, which is really interesting. And Jonathan Larson used this a lot when writing the musical.
You know what, I also have no idea what time to put the biscuit in. About 5 minutes ago, because that's what it says in there. Great. You tell I'm really not very good at this. Interesting.
Because it's a little bit lumpy, I'm going to use my electric mixer. I'm just going to do it on quite a slow speed. It's a little bit loud, so I'll just do it a little bit louder. And in order to get all of the mixture combined well enough, I'm just going to tilt the bowl, and it also means that it won't spill as easily. So I don't know if you can see that. I'm just tilting, put it on its side, and mixing. This will also get a lot of air into the cheesecake, so it'll be really nice and fluffy.
Okay, so to combine these, I'm going to use
Oh, careful.
a mixer because it's easier and quicker. You could just do it by hand, but I'm not going to.
Anna, take the top off. No, the top. Yeah, take it off. Yeah, that's it. Take the top off. Anna, take the top off.
Don't get it.
Take the top off. There we go.
Got it.
So after 15 minutes, after we've made our filling and after the oven has finished, we are going to take our base out of the oven. Oh, that smells gorgeous.
Out it comes. How's it doing?
Are we going to put it on some heat-proof pads on the side?
Also, you need the zest, so I recommend getting a grater. A lot of them have like a bigger side and a smaller side. I would use the smaller side for finer zest. So just grate that straight in. Yeah, so I think the themes of Rent are something I think that appeals to a lot of people because it touches on a lot of things that at the time people didn't really want to talk about. It was like taboo subjects. So obviously with the HIV references and homosexuality references and cross-dressing and stuff like that is something that at that time people were just ignoring in society, which is not okay.
So we have our base out of the oven, which smells amazing. Hot butter and sugar. Best smell in the world. So we're going to add our filling to the base of our cheesecake, which is I'm going to pour that in.
Not sure seductive is the right word, but we'll go with it.
Once it gets to the 10-minute mark, turn it down, and then it's happened again. Oh, it's the spoon! Gotcha. It was like down here before. And I was like, what is this? But I've moved it. And I'm an idiot, it's fine. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna pop that in the oven for 10 minutes and then after the 10 minutes, turn it down. It's gonna be great, it's gonna be great.
So I've put my cheesecake back in the oven at 225 degrees
You sure?
Celsius with a fan oven. And we're gonna bake that just for 10 minutes. So I'm gonna set a timer for 10 minutes.
We're now going to head back over to our guests from the Hope Mill Theatre. So tell us a bit more about the Hope Mill Theatre and your production of Rent.
Hope Mill Theatre was founded by myself and husband William Welton in November 2015, and since opening we've self-produced over 13 musicals and plays. We're also a receiving venue for many northern-based companies as well as small touring shows. Our next in-house musical production is a revival of the musical Rent by Jonathan Larson. It's a show that we've longed to produce at Hope Mill, and we are thrilled to have returning director Luke Shepherd at the helm of this new production. The show starts previewing on the 31st of October and it runs until the 13th of December, and we are selling at a limited capacity and we've still to announce our incredible cast, so don't miss your chance to see this iconic musical later this year at Hope Mill.
I'd now like to introduce to you today's new writer, Carrie Caffrey, and her brilliant song, Born for Today. Enjoy.
Is it just a fantasy to try and turn a work of fiction into something tangible and true? If you would be insane enough to try. I haven't had a single sign, a preview or prediction. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. But I won't sit and watch the waves roll by. Everyone has moments. Maybe this is mine. Hurry up and pull yourself together. Time to start your story here somehow. It's nothing but a storm, a bit of weather. Even if you wanted, it's too late to turn back now. Head is dizzy, heart might burst, but I am jumping in head first. I must be mad for missing every warning. But I was born for today. I was born to explore. It's enthralling, it's a calling I can't ignore. It's all underway. It's the vow I swore. I'm not standing in the shadows anymore. I'm gonna show the world what girls are good for. So what if you have never left the city? So what if they've been taking bets you'll crack? Prove you deserve more than their pity. Seek out the story, or don't bother going back to be respected. World renowned, you have to learn to stand your ground. And I know I'll have found my way by morning. 'Cause I was born for today. I was born to explore. No preparing if you're daring deeds that no one's done before. It's all underway. It's the vow I swore. I'm not standing in the shadows anymore. I'm gonna show the world what girls are good for. I can see it now. I make it back to dock. In under 80 days, I've spanned the earth. My record's unrivaled, every cynic struck with shock. Because this reporter's finally proved her worth. there's a fine line between brash and brave. But great reporters don't behave, 'cause boundaries never break if you obey. And I was born for today. I was born to explore. When I make the deadline, I'll be the headline they adore. It's all underway. It's the Venice War. I'm not standing in the shadows anymore. I'm gonna show the world what this girl is good for.
Okay, what now?
And we're back in the kitchen.
Another fun fact about Rent is that in 1996, they were actually the founders of the ticket lottery that we see in almost every single show today. And the reason this is because in the 90s, the musical was written for the bohemians and for the outcasts and the young people in their 20s and 30s who were discovering New York City for the first time, and discovering what discovering what life was like, basically. They didn't have any money, so they wanted to make it accessible for all of those people. So we're going to reduce our temperature to 130. And then we are going to leave that in the oven for a further 1 hour and 15 minutes, which is a very long time, but I will see you back. Let's hope it tastes good.
I'm just gonna wait here for an hour and just watch it, like become magical. A magical cheesecake.
Magic. Okay. Expelliarmus. Look, it's done. Where's my Hogwarts letter? Definitely a Slytherin. You know what? These both look fantastic. Well done to both of our bakers.
So there we have it. That is my New York cheesecake inspired by the musical Rent. Thank you so much for watching. I have had so much fun making this cheesecake. There was a few disasters. For example, a broken spoon, too much filling. I actually got a war wound, but it was totally worth it. I also really enjoyed listening to some of my favourite songs from Rent Oh,
no, take two. Action.
I also really enjoyed listening to my favourite songs from Rent and talking about how impactful that musical has been on so many people, including myself. And it was actually really nice to learn some new things about Rent, for example the lottery tickets, which I didn't know before doing all of this, so it's all a learning experience.
So thanks so much for doing this episode of MT Larder with me. It has been a blast. I've got just to prove I actually did something nice, which is fab. I'm now going to do the washing up and enjoy the cheesecake, basically. Over and out.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the MT Larder.
New York cheesecake is one of my favourite desserts, and I hope you all have fun making and eating your very own. So keep safe, wash your hands, and keep baking.
We're missing the songs and we're missing the show, so let's see just how this goes. It's time to bake and it couldn't be harder. Let's step into